That's right. I do not like Maimonides. Somebody else, though, recently, I should just say, since it was brought to my attention recently, I pointed out specifically, if you're interested to understand, go and read Babylonian Talmud Nida 45a. Okay, read what it says. And what you're reading if you're reading a translation, even if it's a Hebrew translation, because the Babylonian Talmud was written in Babylonian Aramaic, right? So presuming you can't actually understand Babylonian Aramaic and you can't access or read and understand what exactly the Babylonian Talmud says, you're going to be reading an interpretation of the Babylonian Talmud. And that interpretation, I understood, comes from Maimonides in this particular case. However, somebody challenged me on that, and I don't know enough to be able to challenge them back, and said, it's not Maimonides. They said that actually those interpretations of the Babylonian Talmud, which have become popular since World War II, are all from the Vatican version of the Talmud, because so many Jewish books were burnt during World War II. So people started using the Vatican version of the Talmud to try and understand Judaism for a while. And then, having been sort of indoctrinated with that Vatican Talmud, have now just brought all of those ideas into Judaism, and they just stuck because that's how it is, really. So I don't know if they're telling me the truth or not on this matter, and I don't have access to the sources to be able to tell whether they are telling the truth or not. But all I can say is, I understand that the typical Maimonidean view is what you will find if you open up and read on Sefaria. Just Google Babylonian Talmud Niddah, Niddah 45a, and start reading it. You will find it on Sefaria. Start reading it. For example, Steinsaltz is quite a good one, because he will give you the bold letters for the words which are in the Babylonian Talmud itself. And the letters which are not emboldened are the words which are the interpretation given to that by the Maimonideans. Okay, but as I say, I've been challenged by somebody who says that that's not the interpretation given by the Maimonideans. That is the interpretation given by the people who use the Vatican Talmud, because that's what the Vatican Talmud says. Well, I don't know. I've never read the Vatican Talmud, so I don't know. I can't comment on that. So I'm just giving a little caveat there to say, perhaps everything that I've said about Maimonides might not be true. My criticism might be baseless. It might be that I'm actually criticizing the Vatican Talmud, and that is just the way things have gone since World War II, because of so much damage to the Jewish community. I don't know. I can't comment on that. So if you want to go and read that 45a, Niddah 45a, then you'll understand the issue that I'm having with that version of interpretation, and I don't accept that view, and I don't interpret it that way. I don't even use the Babylonian Talmud for halakha. I use the Jerusalem Talmud for halakha, because I'm following a branch of the Romaniat Minhag, even though I'm an Ashkenazi in genetic lineage. I follow the Romaniat Minhag, or a branch of the Romaniat Minhag, which is Jerusalem Talmud, and the Babylonian Talmud is really only there for stories. It's not there for halakha. But this is also a legitimate approach within Judaism.